Hey everybody, my name is Golden, and today I want to show you my new favorite website for game organization purposes, and that is Groovee.com. Notice the spelling up here. Make sure that you uh, check the double E there so you don't screw that up. But this site is amazing, and it's exactly the kind of site I wanted to actually create on my own. Thankfully, I don't have to because it exists, and I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's uh, got a couple thousand users, I think, at this point, so it's relatively under the radar. But I definitely think it should be more prominent, and I'll show you why here. So I use a site for organizing my collection of games as well as keeping track of what games I've played, what games I want to play in the future, as well as all sorts of other things. And let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So first of all, if we just go to my profile here, take a look. So you can see kind of recent activity and whatnot. But the big thing about this website is that you have shelves. And what shelves are essentially lists of games that you get to define. So you get to choose your level of organization, which is something that I think Backloggery was missing. Maybe they've added that recently, but I used that a long time ago, and I just really didn't like the way that that website worked. The other thing is this connects to Giant Bomb's database. So all of the games that you can think of are already out there, and you don't have to do any manual adding of games yourself. They should all be out there. And if not, work them into the Giant Bomb database because that's a pretty easy thing to do as well. But anyway, point here being that I have these shelves. So here I've got right now, you're looking at my playing shelves. So these are the games that I actively am playing. And then I've got things like my played list. So I can go there and you got a whole list of games that I've played. This is what I love though. These are the default shelves up here that everybody uses. So you've got, all the games that you've interacted with. You've got your backlog. Again, like here's a bunch of games I want to play at some point that I haven't. So when you're on these pages, you can organize them by assigning values to different things. So like here, I really wanted to play Bloodborne, so I gave it #1 ranking. Down here, I haven't really sorted any of these. This is just like, I don't know, I populated this list with a bunch of games just to show you for demo purposes. But Bloodborne is actually one of the games I want to be playing sometime soon. So if I want to edit this, like let's say I really wanted to play Kirby's Adventure. So I give Kirby's Adventure a 1, right? And boom, it moves to the top of my list. So I love it. You can share this with other people. So like for instance, for my stream, if people want to know what games I'm playing soon on stream, here's my plans, right? So I've got a list for that. If you want to know the games that I own that I'm looking to sell, I've got a list for that. And, there's just limitless potential because you get to decide what lists exist, which I think is great. I love the customization. Let me show you how you added stuff to a list as well, because it's super simple. I can't believe this hasn't been thought of before, but let's just search for something. So like Resident Evil, okay? So that's going to return every Resident Evil game that I can find in the database. Now, if I want to give a game a rating, I can just assign a star rating here. If I've played the game, I can click the checkbox and it'll instantly add it to my played list. If I'm playing it right now, I can click the controller. They've got things like the wish list, so games that you plan to own, your backlog, and then every custom shelf that you make shows up here. So I can just quickly add them to those lists too. And it all happens on this screen. So, it's not a one at a time sort of thing. I can quickly add every one of these games to one of those lists if I wanted to. So it's really rapid fire. You can quickly organize your entire game collection. And I like it because I feel like when I have a list of things to look at like this, then it gives me a clearer picture and keeps me focused on actually completing those games. And actually deciding what I want to play next. I like having kind of the visual of, oh, these are the games I haven't played yet. This is what I want to play. So I love this site. I think it's amazing. You can add friends accounts as well, so you can kind of have a social history of like, oh, so-and-so is playing this game. It's got reviews and playthroughs and all kinds of things like that. But for me, the key feature is the shelf and just being able to make lists of games, have a place for them to be stored somewhere. And this site is free to use. I'm currently subscribed to it. They have a subscription service for $10 a year, which is not a lot of money at all, and it gives you the dark theme here. So if you're wondering when you arrive at the site, like how come I don't have the dark theme, I just happen to be subscribed to the site. And I guess one more thing I should say on that note is that I wasn't given anything to promote this site. I just really like it, and I hope you guys fall in love with it too, because it's by far the best online organization tool I've found for video game collections. To spend a couple of hours with this, if it sounds interesting to you, I think you can quickly throw together lists. I've seen some people do things like let's see here if I show like let's look at Eggman's list. He's got a good list here. If you go to Eggman's shelves, he's actually sorting games by consoles, which is something that I haven't done. But so he's going one console at a time and making lists for each of those games. So like 3DS and then the PS4 and all of that. So that's kind of cool. When you search for games too, you can search by just like typing in a word that they all have in common. So like I'll get all the Mario games if I search for Mario. Or if you want to do a little bit more complex search, you can go to, they've got all the games, popular games in the top 250. So those are some kind of quick games to get you started. If we go to all games here, just a quick sorting option that I can do. This is one way I love to go through these and make quick additions to my lists. I just pick a platform. So let's say Super Nintendo, good example. And I want to sort it alphabetically. Click show me the games. And now I've got a list of Super Nintendo games, and I can quickly go through these and say like, oh, I plan to play this. I want to put this on my backlog. I skip over a lot of games that I just don't plan to play. But this is really neat. I think it's just rapid fire, especially if you have a plan for games you want to play in the future. You can build your backlog really quickly here. And that's something that I've always wanted to be able to do on a website. So there you go. There's probably a lot more to be explained, but I'm just super excited about the site and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if it's interesting to you at all, it's GROUVEE.com, groovee.com. And let me know if you start using the site, what you think of it. I'm pretty excited about it. I know the developer is really open to feedback as well, has just an email address that you can send comments to if you have ideas for feedback. But definitely check the site out. I think it's a great organization tool. And there you go. Golden out.